Welcome to this month's edition of Okaloosa Eye on Crime. We are coming to you asking for your help in helping solve some local crimes as well as locate some wanted fugitives. And of course, if you have information that leads to an arrest, you could be eligible for a reward of up to $3,000 and all 100% anonymous.
That's right. Never have to give your name. That is, of course, how Emerald Coast Crime Stoppers works. And it's working very well thanks to all the tips that you've been sending, so please keep them coming. Now, on this episode, we're going to feature a bank robbery, a murder, and a lot more. So let's get started on those.
And first up is that bank robbery on August 26th at about 3:05 in the afternoon. Unknown male entered the People's National Bank located on John Sims Parkway there in Niceville, approached a bank employee and demanded money. Now, he was given an unspecified amount and fled on foot and traveled east along Mark Smith Boulevard. He's described to be about 5'4" tall, was dressed in a white long-sleeve shirt and light-colored pants, dark-colored shoes, a light-colored boonie or fishing-style hat, and was wearing a face mask. Now, anybody that may know who that is, please give us a call. Emerald Coast Crime Stoppers, 863-TIPS.
Moving now to a big case with the Crestview Police Department. They're asking for information about a murder that took place in the area of 249 West Bowers Avenue. That was on the afternoon of August 25th. The victim, 46-year-old Jerry Jerome Aaron Sr., was shot and killed just before 3:30. So, of course, anybody with any information on that, please contact the Crestview PD or submit a tip to Emerald Coast Crime Stoppers.
And the Fort Walton Beach Police Department is searching for a pair of business burglars. This was actually happened back on July 31st at about 2:45 a.m. in the morning. Two suspects forced entry into the Wine World located there in Uptown Station by smashing the front glass door with a crowbar. Now, both suspects were wearing all black, and one of the suspects appeared to be a black male and was wearing white shoes. And in one of these photos, you'll see the second suspect had on black and white shoes with light blue colored high socks, which are kind of distinctive. So take a look at those. Anybody with information, of course, Emerald Coast Crime Stoppers. Don't forget, we also have the P3 Tips mobile app.
Moving now to the Walton County Sheriff's Office, they're looking for two car burglars. They were caught on camera rummaging through vehicles during the early morning hours on July 27th. Sometime between midnight and 1 a.m., these two subjects entered a number of unlocked vehicles on Holland Court and Oakfield Drive in the Canopies community in Freeport. Both appear to be teenagers and were wearing bandanas and ball caps. We also want to let you know that multiple vehicles on the street not only were burglarized, but another was stolen. The stolen vehicles, a four-door 2018 Jeep with a hardtop, and the Jeep also has a unique 30A sticker on the back.
And of course, as a reminder, as we do every single month, please remember to lock your cars, take your valuables inside. We see it a lot. Not only that, but a lot of guns are being stolen out of vehicles.
Still,
so always, please
we are a broken record on that subject, but it's because it continues to happen.
Lock your cars. Now, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office offers a free Citizens Firearm Safety course multiple times a year, and it has proven to be one of the most popular classes in the area.
That is so true. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office gets a lot of phone calls and contact about this class, and it involves both a classroom portion and some time on the firing range with certified instructors. So we wanted to share this clip with you that shows you a little bit about the class, as well as a reminder of the 4 basic firearms safety tips.
I have a towel. So, remember, finger outside the trigger?
Yes, sir.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is it ready?
Yep, it's ready. There's no safety on it.
No safety.
All right. Not teacupping it on the side. There you go.
Like that?
Yep. All right. Stand in front of it. Square it up on it.
This ball end was going to keep around.
As I tell my wife, the door is the plane. The moment he breaks the plane, and you're in fear for your life, remember, that's key. We talked about that outside. As long as you are able to articulate you are in fear for your life or the life of someone else, and someone's trying to enter your home forcibly or uninvited, as long as you can articulate you are in fear for the life of yourself or someone else, you don't have to ask questions.
Now, a few things to know about the Citizens Firearm Safety course. You must be at least 21 years old to take the course. There is a classroom and a range portion, the training that is included. The requirements: you must bring a firearm to the class. Up to 2 people can share a firearm, and you will need a belt holster.
Now, the holster must have at least one point of retention, such as a snap. There will be no single-action revolvers allowed, firearms smaller than a .22 caliber handgun, any firearms larger than a .45 or .44 Magnum revolvers. Again, you can complete an application online. Just email that to Roberta Holloway, which is rholloway@sheriff-okaloosa.org.
And the even better news is it's free to Okaloosa County residents. You can go to sheriff-okaloosa.org, go to the firearm safety page, and submit your application
Right.
there.
Got a quality course and it's free, so that's one of the reasons
Even
obviously
better.
it's so popular with the certified instructors right there. We're going to move now to a rundown of some of the fugitives that local law enforcement is searching for as of today's taping date, which is August 28th.
And remember, you can phone in your tips anonymously to 863-TIPS. You can also go to the website, emeraldcoastcrimestoppers.com, or of course the P3 Tips mobile app if you have any information on where these folks might be hiding out. First up is a new face to the show. That's 27-year-old Brennan Shane Dickerson. He's wanted for burglary, criminal mischief, grand theft of a firearm, as well as dealing in stolen property.
We don't have a photo of Ronald Lee Corbin, but Corbin is wanted for failure to register as a sexual offender.
Crestview police officers are still searching for 35-year-old Ernest Tom Goodman. He's being sought for trafficking in methamphetamine, last known to live on Bethany Drive up in Crestview.
The Walton County Sheriff's Office is trying to locate Dustin Wayne Peak Korn. He's wanted for felony violation of probation.
But we're happy to report that David Michael Williams has been located.
Nestor William Barbosa Carrasquillo, he's 37 years old, wanted for aggravated battery and false imprisonment. Last known address was on Miracle Drive in Florosa.
67-year-old Donald Joe Mitchell, he's being sought for DUI as well as driving with a license suspended or revoked, last known to live in Navarre.
We're going to be able to check the box for Carl Jeffrey Edwards, however, because Edwards has been located since our last show.
But we're still searching for 49-year-old Tad Keith Bowers. He's being sought for violation of probation on the original charge of child neglect.
Also still looking for Robert Wayne Maxwell. He's wanted by the Walton County Sheriff's Office for threats, extortion, and cyber stalking. His last known address, however, was in Pensacola.
And back to Okaloosa, deputies are searching for Tiffany Nicole Key. She's 38 years old, and she's being sought for larceny.
Okay, and contact Emerald Coast Crime Stoppers if you know where to find Anthony Michael Frodelli. He's wanted for VOP for grand theft, trafficking in stolen property, and providing false information to a pawnbroker. Last known to live in the Fort Walton Beach area.
27-year-old Alyssa Victoria Hibberts, who was last known to live in Pensacola. She's being sought for violation of probation for child neglect as well as possession of cocaine.
For James Clinton Brinkley Jr., it's VOP for battery, last known to live in Pensacola.
And deputies are still searching for Joseph Lee Fairchild. He's 34. He's wanted for violation of probation for aggravated assault.
27-year-old Ramisha Rebecca Hatcher, she's wanted for VOP for grand theft.
Last up on our first list is 43-year-old David Allen Bobbitt, and he's being sought for fraud.
Next up, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office Multi-Agency Drug Task Force has been working literally non-stop to try to put area drug dealers out of business. This is, of course, as you can imagine, a very daunting task, but their commitment simply never wavers.
That's right, and it's not only the impact of illegal narcotics on public safety through an increase in crime, it's the toll it takes on the entire community through the more than 700, that's 700 drug overdoses and 113 deaths in the last 5 years.
Where we first started seeing an increase in the overdoses and to include deaths was in 2015. We began to see a nationwide epidemic that was beginning, and that's when we first got approached about Narcan, which is something that we use to try and reverse the effect of the opioid overdose. And in 2015, FDLE did a study of all the counties in Florida, and for some reason we were disproportionately higher than other counties, certainly in our area. We were tied for first with Palm Beach County. So our sheriff and our agency, to include our narcotics division and our street crimes unit, have worked diligently over the last few years to try and battle this epidemic in our community. It affects every demographic and every socio neighborhood that we have. It doesn't have any kind of discrimination as to who it affects out there in our community. And it's creates an onslaught of other issues, homelessness, mental health, other types of addiction that follow with this, of course, not to mention the violent crime that's associated with drug addiction. 2016, we had 80 overdoses with 21 deaths. 2017, we had 127 overdoses with 25 deaths. In 2018, 166 overdoses with 26 deaths. And in 2019, we had 157 overdoses with 26 deaths. And then year to date, we're at 172, not even quite through August of 2020, with 15 deaths. Now, the one dip that we see is in 2019, and we can attribute that to Operation Paydirt, which was in 2018. It was a cumulative effort with federal and local law enforcement agencies. We hit a major heroin fentanyl target. It was the largest narcotics bust in Okaloosa history. We had $6 million in fentanyl alone. According to our sheriff, there was enough fentanyl, with 770 grams of fentanyl seized. That's enough to kill every citizen in Okaloosa County. 15 people were taken down, and we saw an immediate decrease in our overdoses, which is why we had an overall decline in 2019, and then it spiked back up because other sellers began to take and fill the void of the ring that we took down. Historically, it's pretty interesting. The recent busts that we've had in drug houses have mainly been crystal meth, methamphetamine, but we have seen heroin and methamphetamines in conjunction with these drug houses that we've hit recently with our street crimes. And what's interesting is historically those two don't go together, but we're seeing those two drugs being combined in the sale of it.
Sheriff's Office search warrant! Sheriff's Office search warrant!
We're certainly hitting it hard and trying to, again, battle the overdose problem that we have and the addictions to opioids. Our guys work tirelessly throughout the whole county. Like I said, it touches every neighborhood. Everyone that we know out there has someone that's been touched by drug addiction. And not to mention how it affects the rest of the community, whether it be violent crime, property crime. People steal to be able to get money for their addictions, and they will steal from their family members if it gets bad enough, loved ones, friends. So everyone's affected by the addiction that we see.
And as you see, the Board of Okaloosa County Commissioners recently passed a resolution. They declared August 31st, 2020 as International Overdose Awareness Day in Okaloosa County, and they cited the fact in that proclamation that 500,000 people in the United States have died due to overdose deaths in the past 10 years. Pretty staggering statistic.
Very much so. Now next, we're going to head to our second list of fugitives, and we're going to start out with a fresh face to the show. That is 29-year-old Cadale Lamar Carson. He is being sought for aggravated battery. He was last known to live on Ajax Drive in Fort Walton Beach.
Also looking for Clayton McCree Copeland. Copeland's wanted for VOP for providing false information to a pawnbroker, as well as grand theft of a motor vehicle, and he was last known to live in Destin.
Craig Mitchell Mayfield, he's 56. He's also been on the show for a while. He's been sought for violation of probation for grand theft of a motor vehicle. He was last known to live on Troy Street in Fort Walton Beach.
Take a look at Coretta LaDawn James. James is wanted for failure to appear for grand theft and fraud. Her last known address was Wilson Street in Crestview.
And Walton County deputies are still searching for 24-year-old Devin Earl Jordan, and he's being sought for felony violation of probation. Last known to live up in Defuniak Springs.
Leon Leslie Chandler is wanted for VOP for driving with a suspended or revoked license, as well as possession of a weapon or ammo by a convicted felon. Last known to live on Ashley Lane in Fort Walton Beach.
Next up is 33-year-old Blake Elliott Gundred. He is wanted for violation of probation for grand theft, trafficking in stolen property, as well as providing a false information to a pawnbroker.
Next up, Andrew Allen Costello, wanted for VOP on an original charge of grand theft of a firearm.
And the next one up is being sought for aggravated battery. That is Enjoli Rochelle Johnson. She's 35 years old, and she was last known to live on Mixon Road in Defuniak Springs.
Located since last show, Robert Clinton Owen. We can take him off the list.
But we're still searching for 37-year-old William George Riding Jr. He's being sought for counterfeiting.
Also still looking for Michelle Renee Riding, wanted for felony violation of probation.
Next up is Asia Marie Nathan. She's 21 years old, and she's being sought for failure to appear for vehicle theft, last known to live in Fort Walton Beach.
Reginald Dwayne Muse, wanted for VOP on charges of grand theft, burglary, and aggravated stalking.
26-year-old Mary Elizabeth Gibson. She has a violation of probation for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries, last known to live over on Silva Drive in Fort Walton Beach.
Lucas Lorenzo Williams has been on the loose for a while. He's wanted for armed robbery, and that armed robbery took place in October of 2016 in Defuniak Springs, last known to live in Pensacola.
And Timothy James Howard was last known to live on Bearhead Road in Defuniak Springs. He's 35 years old, and he's being sought for larceny, resisting an officer in the recovery of stolen property, as well as failure to appear for fraud.
This next individual has been on here for a while. He's George Monroe Emerick II. He's been wanted by the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office for violating probation on charges of domestic violence, strangulation, and aggravated battery.
And this one's been on here for quite a while as well, and we'd really love to get him in custody. That's 36-year-old Alexis Wilmer Mondegron. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office is looking for him for sexual battery, sexual offense against a child, as well as lewd and lascivious molestation. Now, he was last known to live on Spencer Drive in Fort Walton Beach.
Happy to say that Dakota Ralph Kessinger has been located since our last show.
And Okaloosa and Walton deputies are both searching for Misty Nolan Johnson. She's 38, and she's being sought for grand theft and fraud.
Daniel Lewis Davis, still on our list. He's wanted for VOP for burglary, last known address, Crestview.
39-year-old Roderick James Rutterson Jr. is wanted for possession of synthetic narcotics within 1,000 feet of a school, as well as failure to appear for driving while license suspended or revoked, last known to live on Mooney Road in Fort Walton Beach.
And winding down now, Samuel Edward Thomas III. Thomas is wanted for VOP on charges of providing false information to a pawnbroker, false imprisonment, and grand theft. His last known address was in Shalimar.
And last on this list is somebody being sought by Walton County Sheriff's Office for violation of probation. That is James Anthony Williams.
I am Ashley Bailey with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and I'm here with an important message. Unfortunately, we've had a number of victims lately, widows, to the sweetheart scam. And a lot of these victims have lost a substantial amount of money. We've had 3 that I know of, 5 that we have worked all over between Walton and Okaloosa County, and each victim has lost anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000. We want our citizens to be informed and aware, and there's important things that you need to know. First, be wary of people that are contacting you online, especially younger men or younger women that seem to be overseas and want to develop a relationship extremely quick. And after this relationship starts, they really are insistent on FaceTiming with you. That's one of the things all of our victims have had in common. Our suspects have FaceTimed them, which creates more of a relationship and an easier trust. So a couple things that you really need to know and be aware of. As one, people that are overseas for business or for military that all of a sudden have a bunch of tragedies and need money quickly. So please be aware, don't send any money. If you have anything suspicious, contact the Sheriff's Office. We will be more than happy to help you make discernment if it is true or if it is false.
Now, summer is winding down, but boat season certainly is not.
That's for sure. We want to share some video with you that was taken earlier this summer. And it was when the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit, along with Destin Beach Safety and wave runners from the Destin Fire Department, want to make sure we mention them because they played a critical role in this. They responded to a call of a sinking boat in the Destin East Pass, and it had 9 people on board.
Hey, just keep going. Keep going. Yeah, just keep them moving.
Roger, sir. Are y'all going to in front of the bar then once you're about to?
You get off. You get off. The current's going to take you that way. He's got you underway right now. Keep it going. Hey! Call! Keep going. Please, keep moving. You're fine. Just stay calm.
County, Destin, do y'all need assistance? Over.
This is a bad one right here. Hey, Kyle, y'all watch. If this vessel sinks, you could want to be in the water and get pulled under here.
225, 1098. Yeah, Roger. 66, India.
Watch this. Line just went off. Get our line ready. Where is it up? Hey, get our life jackets. Get our life jackets. Come on, come on. He's coming right here. Get him, get him. Hey. Hey, go around the other side. Huh? Is anybody else in the water? Hey, you got a life jacket? Get us some life jackets. Get us some life jackets. I know! 3 kids? Hey! Bring them here! Bring them here! Bring them here! Get him out here! Come on, buddy! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, guys! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Go! 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 Get in here! Grab him! Grab him! Grab him! Come on! Come on! Go! Come on! Come on! Go! Hayden's back here! With us! You on? Hold on, buddy. Hey, talk to them. Find out who are we missing. We're 42. We got a vessel submerged right now. We've got people in the water.
Okay, wait. That's 3 and then another one on the other side. Indy, I'm okay.
Calm down, buddy. Calm down, buddy. You're the last one. 42, we've got a vessel that's gone submerged. We've got people in the water right now.
Is this in the water?
Multiple. I think we're good right now. Hey! 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 Find out if we're missing anybody. Is everybody here? How many? Everybody? She's on the boat over there, I think. No, she's right there on FWC. How many people do we have on the boat? 4? We've got 4!
One verification.
Everybody? Everybody's fine.
252, 911 verification.
Looks like everybody's accounted for right now. We've got 9 of us.
There's a fault water. Contact center, accidental bow on the beach.
9! You good? You okay? Hey, buddy. Buddy, come around over here. Come around over here, buddy. Sit up here. You okay? All right, man. Just sit right there for me. You're fine. I got you. Everybody okay?
52.
All fine. Right there.
The 911 is Phoenix Highway 98. So also, might still been given that message. Call me, please.
Hey, call that boat still right
That's 10-4. I passed it along. I'll attempt contact with them, see if I can get information on when they're going to call.
Hey, that vessel's right here. Huh? Okay. Hey! Once you get them, bring them right over here. Yeah.
Take a Walmart related to that.
Hey, bring them up here in the calm water. Now, hold on.
Some very scary video there, but thankfully everybody had life jackets on and went home at
sure.
the end of the day, so that
Yep.
was great. And that's actually going to wrap up this edition of Okaloosa Eye on Crime, and thank you for joining us, and stay safe.